Today we're looking at math, work text page 185, fractions for sets. So we've done some work with sets and using fractions to express parts of a group. And we can do that again here, but we're also going to look at when the sets are divided, but not by the total number of items in the set. So we'll look at that a little closer and it'll make more sense as we go along. For numbers 1 and 2, they're just reviewing with us. We can write a fraction for the red part of each set. So in number 1, first we need to find our denominator. How many total balloons do we have? 2, 4, 6, 7. So 7 is our denominator. It goes on the bottom. How many of those 7 balloons are red? And you probably already wrote it. You guys are pretty quick at counting, right? 5 of the 7 balloons are red. 5/7 are red. And number 2, they want us to write a fraction expressing what fraction of the flowers are red. Well, how many flowers do we have all together? We have 5. How many of those are red? 1, 2. So 2/5 of the flowers are red. All right, that's kind of like what we did last time. This time, we're going to divide these sets, but not by the total number. So if you look at the flowers here in the red box, we have 6 total flowers, but they want us to divide it by 3. The denominator tells us what we're dividing by. So we want to divide it into 3 equal sets. So if I divided these into 3 equal sets, how many would be in each set? And they were like, well, just divide the total number 6 by the denominator. 6 divided by 3 will equal 2. Okay, so sounds sort of okay, but maybe not all the way. Well, let's do some and see if that helps. So here we have 6 donuts. Before we divided it into 6 equal parts. Well, we're not going to do that. Our fraction wants us to divide it in half. Okay, we want 2 equal parts. And they told us we know that half of them of the donuts have icing and half do not. So I drew a line there to see we have 2 groups, right? 2 sets. Half have icing, half do not. So how many would half of 6 be? Well, I take 6 and I divide it by 2. How many were in each group? Right? 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. They added these steps to kind of help you through this, to see in my mind, when I want to know half of 6, in my head I'm going to think 6 divided by 2. That denominator, okay, sets our divisor. So let's do some. They have some candies and some flashlights. We'll do some actual practice with real life objects. Here it says 1/5 of the candies are unwrapped. So if I take these candies and I divide them into 5 equal groups, right? And then my 5th group's down here, right? You see that? So in each box, I have the same number of candies. It says 1/5 of 10. Well, I take 10 and I divide it by 5. Well, you can count by 5s. How many 5s does it take? Or I can count how many candies were in my group, right? That's really helpful when they give us pictures. Is 2, right? 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Why don't you try the flashlight one? You can pause the video if that helps. Remember, one of the things I like to do, it says 1/4. So I'm going to divide all these flashlights into 4 groups. There are 4 of us, and each of us get the same number of flashlights. Of course, here they added the shining part, so we know that are on. So we know that there are only 2 of them on, so that kind of gives us a hint on what that would be. So pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, you can keep it rolling and we'll check your answer if you're done. Just like before, we have a total of 8 flashlights. If I divide them by 4, I take 8 divided by 4. How many 4s does it take to equal 8? Well, hopefully in your mind, 8 divided by 4 is 2. I can look at the picture here because I have the benefit of having a picture, and I can count that there are 2 that are shining. 2 of the flashlights are on. All right. Oh, now we get to do some drawing. Jack has 8 pairs of pants, but 1/4 of his pants have holes in the knees. So the first thing you're going to do is draw 8 pairs of pants. So this takes a little bit. I like to simplify it just to help me draw them faster. You will probably have your own awesome way of doing it. So get your pencil there. Make sure you're drawing pants as quick as you can. If you need to pause the video, whoops, these are getting kind of crazy. And one last pair of pants for Mr. Jack. All right. It says 1/4. So if I take my picture and I divide it into 4s, into 4 equal parts, how many pairs of pants are in each section? Well, there are 2 because 8 divided by 4, right, by that denominator equals 2. And it shows here in my picture, but it tells me it has holes in the knees. So you can draw holes in the knees. Okay. Jack's been out playing and climbing trees and things. He's got holes in the knees of his jeans. All right, so 1/4 of 8 is 1, 2. 2 pairs of pants. Very good work today. This is a little bit more difficult, but yet I have confidence that you caught on. And if you're not quite 100% confident, I'm confident that you will be able to, with a little more practice, figure these out. So again, you're going to turn the paper over, read the directions as they're printed, work them carefully. Don't rush through it. Remember, you can always use this front side to help you as reference, especially those colored boxes here. They always give us good examples. We can come back and be like, okay, what did they do in that one? How did they do it? What did they circle? And use that as your reference. I'll see you next time.